Here's what you've missed on Jason vs. Wild.
Guys, we've got a problem. Every 5 years, Jason tries to get on reality TV. Bear Grylls, Survivor Man. He thinks that if he can just survive out in the wild, he'll get his own reality show.
In the wild? Jason isn't outdoorsy.
I've been bit! Turns out, it wasn't a rattlesnake that bit Jason. It was a prickly cactus.
Oh look, one of them's coming down to see me. Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
But that never stops him. Jason just decides to go out into the wild and disaster ensues.
It's this huge silo.
So he took an Uber 40 miles north.
How do we know what else Jason wants to do in the wild?
I found his list on the copier.
Step 1, make it into the wild. Check.
Step 2, find food.
Check.
Step 3, build a shelter.
Check.
Build a fire?
Local man starts forest fire. News at 11.
No, keep going.
Fight an animal?
There's no way that Jason would try to fight a wild animal, right?
Step 5, fight a wild animal.
It is at this point that Jason is unaware that he could die.
We have to rescue him. He's gonna get himself killed.
So how do you hope to do that and also have him think that he did it all on his own?
I don't know, but I've gotta try. Jason's always been rescued out in the wild.
What do we got ourselves here? Got ourselves a city slicker.
Man, you really should have learned your lesson last time, Jason. You're really bad at this.
Well, I'm not that bad.
Are you kidding me? You thought you were bit by a rattlesnake and it was a cactus.
Thank you, Joe, for everything.
Make sure you text me next time you're stranded, and don't let him take his jacket and stick. Trouble only follows.
Here, creature, 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 creature.
There are many different creatures who live in the forest. Frogs, turtles, woodpeckers, owls, deer, raccoons, possums, porcupines, and bears.
I should have brought some honey. Bears like honey, right? I bet I could beat up a bear. It's so much smarter and stronger than a bear. Got better teeth.
These creatures live in the wild, but Jason isn't as afraid of them as he should be. In fact, there are only two things in the wild that truly scare Jason.
Is that a squirrel? It's a squirrel! A squirrel! No, it's a squirrel! It's a squirrel! Ah! 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 Oh, spider! Spider web!
Squirrels and spiders are Jason's true fears.
Spider web!
Buddy, are you alive? Okay, good. All right. I think I brought this bandage with me. Figured you'd do something. This tree stopped your fall. I'm glad you're alive. How am I gonna get you back to the car? You're like dead weight. That reminds me of a time a woman helped Elisha. In this situation, I'll be Elisha, and Jason, you be the woman. Okay? Okay. Elisha was going back and forth and would stop in a place named Shunem. While he was there, he would stop at a wealthy woman's house for dinner. The woman said to her husband, "We need to make room for Elisha." Elisha was happy. He asked around to see how he could help her in return. Did she need money? No. Did she need land or favor from the king? No. He found out she did not have a son. Elisha went to her and said, "By this time next year, you will have a son." She said, "Don't get my hopes up." This time next year, she had a son. Years later, the boy was in a field and had a headache. He went home to his mom and laid his head down on her lap. Then, around noon, he died. The woman knew what to do. She said, "Go and find Elisha." When the servants arrived, Elisha knew something was wrong. What happened to the child? The servants quickly explained that he was dead, and he sent the servants back with his stick and said, Go quickly and lay the stick on the child's face, like this. The servants begged Elisha to follow, and he did. When he arrived, the stick was on the boy's face, but he was not alive. Then Elisha laid down on the child. He put his mouth on the boy's mouth, his eyes on the boy's eyes, and his hands on the boy's hands. The boy began to get warm. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Then he paced around the floor. And then he laid down on the boy again. He put his mouth on the boy's mouth, his eyes on the boy's eyes, his hands on the boy's hands. Yeah, I'm still not going to do that. Sorry, Jay. The boy sneezed 7 times, like this. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Tim? Man, I really wish you wouldn't have rescued me. I mean, I really think I could have made it this time.
Oh, I think you could have too. That's why I brought you some water and a bike so you could ride home.
Really? Thanks, man. Couldn't we pretend that happened? I mean, isn't that a much better ending to show to the kids?
Probably, but you know a bear would eat you, right?
Only if I didn't eat it first.
Jason, you have to stop going out in the wild. Promise me you'll stop.
Okay, Tim, I will stop going out in the wild.
You know I saw that, right?
Family reunions after spending time in the wild are always so sweet.
Love you, Ronan.
Ew, Daddy Dinky! What's that smell? Daddy Stinky.